In 2009, he was a pioneer in virtual practice and became a leader in the field. He is the founder of Health Experts Alliance, where they have been growing and scaling doctors' brands, influence, and revenue for years. And he is the developer of Longevity's certification program. So he's got a lot to do with what's going on here today, and he wants to welcome you personally. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Isaac Jones.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Did you guys have a good breakfast? Solid? Did you have a good dinner last night? Is that solid? That was fun. It was great to connect with you guys. How's Vibrant America doing, guys? This is an incredible event. Thank you guys so much for putting on such an incredible event. How many people would be interested in learning some of the solutions for building $1 million plus practice? Longevity practice, just a few of you. How many people? Come on, let's see it. All right, let's go. We're gonna talk about the future of longevity and scaling cash-based, results-driven practices. So before I do that, I wanna get into the shocking truth about the state of healthcare in America and how you can join the fight for true health. This is crazy to me as I was, putting this deck together for you guys. But you guys know, how many people know this? Raise your hand. $4.3 trillion spent on disease care in this country. $4.3 trillion last year. Raise your hand if you knew that. Right? And we've never been sicker. How many people have also seen that? This is a crazy day and age in which we're living. How much money do we need to spend to create sickness in this country? How many people knew that 75% of the budget, of the FDA budget, is funded by Big Pharma? 75% of the FDA budget is funded by Big Pharma. These are the ones that are supposed to be holding them accountable. How could they hold them accountable, right? It's just not going to happen. Now, this is pretty sad. 30% of teens in America have prediabetes or diabetes. How many people knew that? Okay? And it's estimated that 50% of children have chronic disease in America, when 40 years ago, this was unheard of. This was unheard of. And I mean, you guys know the autism stats. In 1983, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and 1 in 36 children are on the spectrum right now. 1 in 22 in California, 1 in 22 boys. How many people knew that statistic, right? So this is what we are fighting against. We're fighting against a wave of disease and disorder in children and in adults all across the country. And I'm proud of you guys because you're standing in the gap and standing for truth in a time where this world so desperately needs it. Rome fell because of medical expenses. Rome's economy collapsed because of disease, right? What's happening in America right now? $4.3 trillion on disease care. And somebody told me last night at dinner that 2% of that number, of the $4.2 trillion, is made by doctors. 2%. So that means the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, all these other companies are the ones that are making the 98% of that number. So, and unfortunately, the sales reps are the doctors. 50% of antibiotics prescribed are considered unnecessary. I would argue even more. But here's what I was really shocked by, that we're trashing the microbiome. I'm not shocked by that. But people are 3 times more suicidal in the year after taking an antibiotic. How many people knew that? 1 person, 2 people. This is a crazy statistic. 40% have mental disorders of teenagers. Suicide's gone up 3 times for kids 10 to 14, and 40% of 15 to 19-year-olds have developed this tendency to become more suicidal in the last 10 years alone. So what are we doing in this country? What the heck are we doing in quote-unquote healthcare? And who's going to stand in the gap? And that's a question for you. Who's going to stand in the gap? Who's going to stand in the gap? Are you guys going to stand in the gap? Turn to the person sitting next to you, give them a high five and say, it's you. It's time, it's truly time to disrupt. And you know, I would recommend thinking about those statistics before you get to work, talking about these with your team, being like, this is why we do what we do. This is why we are here to change and transform the healthcare system away from a sick care system and into a true healthcare system. So it's time to disrupt. And I'm so happy that you guys are learning from such incredible speakers. Rhonda's coming up right after this, and she's created a huge impact in the media industry around these really powerful concepts of longevity and how we can live healthier and longer. And we need more people like Rhonda to stand in the gap and to educate the masses on what true healthcare is. So when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. And I was just given the traditional treatments, Adderall, Accutane for my acne, all of the just traditional treatments. And because I needed more time in class, they put me in special needs to take tests. And so that was my life. I was made fun of. It was awkward going through school with that. And I can remember having a hard time even putting words together and processing sentences during the time that I was struggling with a lot of these challenges. And my mom and dad, we grew up in a relatively poor family, and they didn't have the money to take me to, these expensive facilities, but a doctor just like you opened their doors to helping my family and me out. My mom was on Effexor. She was depressed. My dad was on all these heart disease medications. And within 3 months of them educating me on the principle of true health care and creating a transformation in our health through lab testing and hands-on care, I was able to reverse this challenge. This lab test showed me that I had gut issues, that I had deficiencies, that I had leaky gut, that I had candida overgrowth, right? That was affecting my brain. And this is the power of what you guys now use with Vibrant America, and why Vibrant America isn't just a company selling lab tests. It's a company helping to change and transform children's lives, teenagers' lives, and adults' lives all around the world. And because of this, and because of somebody just like you, my life was transformed. This is a picture of me when I was around that time. And it was like things just started making sense. I didn't realize that I actually had a photographic memory. And it was brought out by a doctor just like you. I didn't realize that I would be able to become a doctor. But the doctor, he spoke into my life, and she spoke into my life and said, you know what, you can be a doctor to help other people just like you've been helped. So do you guys realize that the modern day superheroes is not the Marvel comic, Batman, Spider-Man, Captain America, and my favorite, Iron Man? It's you guys. You are the modern day superhero. So turn to the person sitting next to you, give them a high five and say, you're the superhero. So who's gonna fight back against this system? Who's gonna fight back? Let me hear it. Let's go. We need to embrace this longevity industry together and upgrade our businesses together, right? The pharmaceutical industries, they create pipelines. They understand marketing and business very, very well. Why don't we become experts at business? We need to do this together, and I believe we need to do this together as one. At events just like this, masterminding, supporting each other. And so just a little bit about me. I built a multi-seven-figure health center in 2009 and 2008, actually, 2007, 2008. And I got burned out. How many people feel burned out right now, right? You are spinning your wheels. I pioneered a virtual practice in 2008. It was the very first virtual practice. Scaled that to 7 figures, working 2 days per week. and traveled half the year. This was my dream business. I asked myself the question, if I could reverse engineer my dream business, what would it look like? And then I built it. Since then, I've helped tens or hundreds of businesses grow to the 7, 8, and 9-figure range. And I started HCA to help people just like you to create a movement where we can together impact 1 billion lives. And ultimately, I would love to be able to impact even more. So we've helped over 3,000 health experts optimize and scale using this blueprint. So it's audience attraction, it's authority automation, then it's allied selling, and then you get lab tests, Vibrant American lab tests. Then you get people in the automated programs. You build residual income for yourself. How many people would like to build a little bit more residual income in their lives, right, in their businesses? And then once you get those first 4 steps, you know, people always ask, like, how the heck did you create such success in these different brands that you've built and these doctors' offices that you've helped coach? Because they implemented the first 4 steps, then they got to asset ascension, right? And so we help, you know, ultimately create scalable, highly profitable health businesses without the burnout. And the longevity industry is booming, right? If you guys want to get these statistics, go to Longevity Industry 1.0, or it's, I think, Longevity Industry Book 1.0 or something like that.com. You can Google this. But these are the statistics for the longevity industry. This is the biggest boom that we've ever seen. And Dimitri said the future longevity industry not only has the logical potential to become the wealthiest in all human history, but also represents the most ethical way of doing business. I believe that longevity is the future of functional medicine. It is it's the way that we're going to help reverse cancer and prevent diseases in the future. It's through the filter of longevity. These are the industries and the different countries and all the companies and government agencies and investing firms that are investing into longevity right now. This is the longevity subsectors. Guys, you are in the right place at this event because, you know, there are just so many companies that are launching in the longevity space right now. So what we do is we do live events. We've got a Disrupt Healthcare event coming up. This is a Disrupt Business event. We do live clinical and business events. The clinical event is a longevity regenerative medicine event. And then we've built the longevity clinical certification program, as well as we have masterminds and coaching. And so if you guys are interested in learning more about any one of these things, there's a couple spots left. There's probably 7 spots left. We're gonna take a few of you guys for lunch just to explain more. And you can sign up at the booth at the back if you guys are interested. And so we have around 7 spots left for that, where we can just talk to you guys about growing your business and helping you guys integrate Vibrant America even more into your businesses or whatever you guys would like to talk about. But that will be happening at lunch today. Just go to the Health Experts Alliance booth and register for that. And then for people that are in the 7-figure range and they're really wanting to build and grow their businesses, we're going to do a small dinner tonight at Morton's Steakhouse. Again, go to the booth to register for that if you're interested in really growing and scaling your brand to the next level. But ultimately, to build a thriving practice, you have to come to events like this. You've got to become clinical experts. Then you've got to have a business blueprint that actually works. And I believe that we all need to be held accountable through implementation coaching. And so one of these things that we love to do is educate people on longevity. And we've partnered with Vibrant Wellness on really, helping our tribe understand these cutting edge lab tests so that you can integrate these for your practices and ultimately get people to understand the value of longevity programs. So we've done a bunch of clinical modules. Module 1's all about foundation of longevity science, all the way to biohacking advanced interventions that get you the tools, the technology for longevity, enhancing cellular health, hormones, peptides, anti-aging therapies, exosomes, et cetera. So there's a lot of amazing information, but we're very, we keep you on the cutting edge. These are just some of the longevity experts that are in the back end. And there's so many more that are added every single month. But these are the top people in the world. And your clinical directors in longevity, Sandra Kaufman, who wrote the various books on longevity. Dr. Rudy Mueller, who's one of the most prolific researcher minds and longevity educators out there, and Dr. Ashley as well. Unbelievable backgrounds. Everyone's, like Rudy's in functional medicine, Sandra's a medical doctor, and Ashley is a PhD in Chinese medicine. So we all come from different kind of backgrounds and teach you about the longevity businesses. So we've got a lot of interesting toolboxes for you guys to make it easy to get into the longevity space and start generating revenue fast. And we give you a clinical toolbox of educational guides for getting people into longevity programs, which are some of the most sought after programs and practices right now. Christy went from 20 to 50K in just 3 months through this program. And then Ryan, who's here, I don't know if Ryan, oh, there he is right at the back, he's waving. Put your hand up, Ryan. So he integrated this and he doubled his revenue in the last 12 months from 800K to 1.7 million. And ultimately, this is what we want for you guys, is to be able to not just learn clinical information, but apply it from a business perspective so you can grow and scale your business. So we've got an event coming up. It's called Disrupt Healthcare. It's next week in Nashville, but I'm gonna show you guys how you can get access to that virtually if you're interested. So, we've helped companies that we've coached and trained do $1.3 billion in exits. Guys, this is people like you that were sitting in a room just like this, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, that were like, you know what, I have an idea to help more people. And they grew and they either have a valuation or we've done exits of a cumulative 1.3 billion. And here are just some of the brands that we've worked with and the impact that we've made. And so I would love for you guys, just as you're going through this event, to be in the world of possibility around what's possible for you to grow your practice, to generate more freedom for yourself, to create more revenue and impact in the world, to save more people's lives. So I'm just gonna quickly skip through these slides. I did practice this presentation before this, but I just wanna give you guys an opportunity to get our past Disrupt longevity event. We had people from all the world fly in for our last longevity event, and we want to give that to you guys for free today. So you guys, if you just scan this, you can download the recordings from the longevity event, and you can also grab a ticket to stream the event that we're doing next week, the Disrupt event next week. And I think it's going to be a blessing for you guys to really help you make a bigger impact in the world and create ultimately a legacy of health transformation, which is what we want to do together. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I'm so excited for you guys to hear from my friend Rhonda, and I hope you guys have just an absolutely incredible day. And hopefully I'll see you at the back at my booth if you guys have any questions or at lunch or dinner. So thank you guys so much.